Some visions are dismissed as mere folklore, tales spun in the shadows of forgotten times, but others echo through generations, their chilling predictions refusing to be silenced. In a small, humble home in Petric, Bulgaria, lived a blind woman whose prophecies captivated millions and earned her the moniker Nostradamus of the Balkans. Her name was Baba Vanga, and she saw a future that stretched far beyond her earthly sight, a future that included catastrophic events, the rise and fall of nations, and chilling transformations for humankind. While many of her predictions have already come true, sending shivers down the spines of those who followed her work, the most terrifying of all remains unfulfilled, a shadow looming over the year 2025. What did Baba Vanga foresee for this pivotal year, and why does it continue to haunt those who delve into her prophecies? Let's uncover the mystery in today's video. So, fasten your seatbelt as we dive into today's story. But first, if you like and subscribe before this video ends, they say your luck might just change. Born Vangelia Gushtarova in the year 1911, in a small village nestled in what was then the Ottoman Empire, now part of Macedonia, Baba Vanga's early life was marked by poverty and hardship. She was a premature baby, often frail, and her childhood unfolded against the turbulent backdrop of the Balkan Wars and World War I. Her ordinary existence, however, was irrevocably altered at the tender age of 12. While playing with cousins in her village, a colossal and inexplicable tornado, a rarity in that region, swept through the area. The immense force of the wind lifted Vanga and hurled her hundreds of meters into a nearby field. She was found hours later, disoriented and covered in dust and sand, her eyes gravely injured. Despite desperate attempts by her family, who could only afford a partial operation, her eyesight gradually deteriorated, leaving her completely blind. This physical tragedy, however, seemed to open a new, unseen world to her. It was after this harrowing experience that Vanga began to exhibit an extraordinary ability. Initially, she would speak of events that had occurred in distant places, or details about people she had never met. Over time, these fleeting glimpses into the unknown solidified into coherent visions and prophecies. She claimed to communicate with invisible entities, spirits of the deceased, and even extraterrestrial beings who conveyed information to her. Her mind became a conduit, processing vivid imagery, sounds, and sensations that transcended the normal human experience. By the year 1940, her reputation as a seer had spread throughout Eastern Europe, drawing countless people, from desperate villagers to powerful political figures, to her modest home in Petric, Bulgaria, seeking guidance, solace, and a glimpse into their destinies. She would sit for hours, listening to their questions, before offering cryptic, yet often profoundly accurate, answers. Her fame grew to such an extent that even state officials under the communist regime in Bulgaria reportedly sought her counsel, despite the ideological conflict with her mystical abilities. One of Baba Vanga's earliest and most startling prophecies came during World War II. She foretold, with chilling precision, the exact date of the German invasion of Yugoslavia in the year 1941, startling local villagers with her precise warnings, which were dismissed until the tanks rolled in. Her accuracy continued to baffle experts and ordinary people alike. She predicted the dissolution of the mighty Soviet Union in the year 1991, an event that reshaped the geopolitical landscape and seemed impossible just a few years prior. She also foresaw the Chernobyl disaster of the year 1986, describing a black cloud that would cover the land and poison the waters, a chillingly accurate depiction of the nuclear catastrophe that irradiated vast swathes of Ukraine and Belarus. Perhaps most famously, she prophesied the sinking of the Russian submarine Kursk in the year 2000, stating that Kursk will be covered with water and the whole world will weep over it, a vision that came true when the submarine tragically sank in the Barents Sea, claiming all 118 lives aboard. These, and many other verifiable predictions, cemented her status as a genuine prophet, making her later, more catastrophic prophecies all the more unsettling. As the decades passed, Baba Vanga's visions grew increasingly grand in scale, touching upon global events that would impact all of humanity. In the year 1989, Amidst the relative peace of the Cold War, she spoke of a terrible attack on American soil, stating, "The American brethren will fall after being attacked by the steel birds. The wolves will be howling in a bush, and innocent blood will be gushing." 12 years later, on the 11th of September of the year 2001, the world witnessed the horrific terrorist attacks on the World Trade Center in New York City, where hijacked airplanes, the steel birds, crashed into the iconic Twin Towers, causing their collapse and claiming nearly 3,000 lives. The phrase, "wolves will be howling in a bush," was widely interpreted as a chilling reference to then-President George W. Bush, who was a central figure in the aftermath. The precision of her foresight was truly unsettling, leaving millions to wonder how a blind woman in rural Bulgaria could have possibly seen such a specific and devastating event. Beyond specific, tragic events, Baba Vanga also made broader predictions about humanity's future, including a great Muslim war that would begin in the year 2010 and conclude by the year 2043, potentially referring to the rise of extremist groups and prolonged conflicts in the Middle East that have indeed plagued the early 21st century. She spoke of significant climate changes, long before global warming became a mainstream concern, describing ice melting and water levels rising as early as the 1970s. Her visions included shifts in the Earth's orbit and increasingly extreme weather patterns, which bear a striking resemblance to the current climate crisis. Furthermore, Vanga foresaw a period where Europe will become empty, potentially hinting at a demographic crisis or mass migration that would profoundly alter the continent's social fabric. However, among all her dire warnings, one prophecy stands out, a terrifying prediction for the year 2025. According to her followers and various interpretations of her fragmented visions, Baba Vanga foresaw a series of catastrophic events culminating around the year 2025 that would fundamentally alter the world as we know it. She spoke of a drastic population decline, describing a future where many people would be consumed by an unknown illness, hinting at a plague far more devastating and insidious than anything seen before. While the world has just endured the COVID-19 pandemic, Vanga's vision suggests something even more pervasive and deadly, possibly a novel pathogen or a series of interconnected health crises that would decimate global numbers. Beyond the specter of disease and environmental collapse, Baba Vanga's most chilling pronouncements for the period surrounding the year 2025 hint at an escalating geopolitical catastrophe, a potential Third World War. She never explicitly used the term World War, but her descriptions of intense global conflict, shifts in power, and the use of devastating new weaponry paint a grim picture that many interpret as such. She spoke of great struggles and clashes of civilizations that would involve many lands and new forms of destruction. These are not mere regional disputes. They suggest a conflict of unprecedented scale and ferocity. Specifically, interpretations of her prophecies suggest that the year 2025 could be a flashpoint, stemming from the economic and geopolitical shifts she also predicted. She indicated a weakening of Western influence and a strengthening of Asian nations, particularly China and India, rising to become dominant forces on the world stage. She foresaw economic and military might shifting eastward, leading to a new world order. This aligns strikingly with economic and geopolitical trends observed in recent years, where China's economy has soared, becoming a major global player, and India's influence continues to expand. The rise of new alliances and the fracturing of old ones were also hinted at, painting a picture of a world in flux, struggling to find its new balance amidst shifting allegiances and increasing competition for resources and influence. For instance, the ongoing trade tensions between the United States and China, or the evolving dynamics within BRICS nations, could be seen as reflections of these broader shifts. The transition to this new world order, according to Vanga's followers, would not be peaceful. Her vision suggested a period of intense confrontation, where brothers will turn against brothers, and fire will consume many cities. Some interpreters believe this refers to conflicts stemming from resource scarcity, intensified by the population decline and water shortages. Imagine nations, already weakened by internal strife and disease, resorting to desperate measures to secure essential resources. A conflict ignited by a battle over dwindling water supplies in a critical region or a dispute over rare earth minerals vital for advanced technology could rapidly escalate, drawing in global powers. The current volatile situation between Russia and Ukraine, for example, has already demonstrated how a regional conflict can destabilize international relations and impact global energy and food supplies. Similarly, simmering tensions along the India-Bangladesh border over shared rivers or historical disputes between Cambodia and Thailand over ancient temple sites, though seemingly localized, represent the kinds of flashpoints that, in a world already on edge, could contribute to a larger domino effect. These regional friction points, combined with the broader power shifts Vanga predicted, create a deeply unsettling scenario for the near future. Furthermore, there are interpretations that suggest Vanga foresaw the development and potential use of devastating, unconventional weapons. Her mention of new forms of destruction goes beyond conventional warfare. This could be interpreted as biological agents, cyber warfare, or even something more terrifying and unforeseen, unleashed in a desperate attempt to gain supremacy. The sheer scale of destruction implied by her visions of many lands being engulfed by fire strongly points towards a global conflict with severe, widespread repercussions for millions, if not billions, of lives. The rapid advancements in AI weaponry, hypersonic missiles, and even biochemical research in various major military powers today lend a chilling weight to these predictions. The very nature of such a conflict, if it were to occur in the year 2025, would fundamentally change human existence. It would not be merely a shift in political power, but a cataclysm that redefines borders, reshapes societies, and potentially sends humanity spiraling into a new dark age. The sense of urgency surrounding the year 2025, therefore, is not just about a single event, but the potential culmination of multiple crises, pandemics, climate disasters, and geopolitical conflicts, all converging to push the world to the brink of a third global war. Could such a confluence of disasters truly occur, the idea of a global pandemic, resource scarcity, and major geopolitical shifts all happening concurrently might seem like something out of a dystopian novel. However, when we look at the world today, some of Baba Vanga's ominous warnings seem eerily relevant. We have just emerged from a global pandemic, the COVID-19 outbreak, which undeniably brought the world to a standstill, shuttered economies, and highlighted the vulnerabilities of our interconnected systems, claiming millions of lives worldwide. Furthermore, climate change continues to pose a significant threat, leading to unprecedented droughts, floods, and extreme weather events across continents, impacting agriculture and water supplies. Geopolitical tensions are at an all-time high, with economic rivalries and military buildups reshaping international relations. The ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, for instance, has already demonstrated how quickly regional conflicts can escalate, drawing in global players through proxy support, sanctions, and ideological divides. This conflict alone has displaced millions and caused a ripple effect across the world's economy. The unresolved border disputes, such as those involving India and Bangladesh over shared territories and water resources, or the historical claims between Cambodia and Thailand regarding the Preah Vihear temple, though often contained, serve as constant reminders of underlying vulnerabilities that could be exploited in a broader geopolitical struggle. While none of these individually confirm Baba Vanga's specific vision for the year 2025, they do create a chilling backdrop that makes her prophecies resonate with a heightened sense of urgency and plausibility for a potential global conflict. Baba Vanga's terrifying prophecy for the year 2025, hinting at a global conflagration, serves as a potent reminder of humanity's fragility and the unpredictable nature of our future. Whether her visions are divinely inspired, the result of keen observation, or simply uncanny coincidences, they continue to fascinate and disturb. Perhaps the greatest lesson from her prophecies is not to fear the inevitable, but to prepare, to adapt, and to strive for a future where humanity can overcome the challenges that lie ahead. The real fear may not lie in the disaster itself, nor in the prospect of a third world war, but in our collective refusal to prepare for it, even after we've been warned. Throughout the long arc of history, humanity has always been haunted by one deceptively simple question: can the future be changed, or has it already been written, leaving us to do nothing but wait for it to arrive? We may not be able to stop the earth from trembling, nor hold back a storm, nor control the movements of the deep and restless sea, but we can choose whose hand we hold when those moments come. And sometimes, just a single hand reaching out in the darkness is enough to make us feel like everything will be okay. You may not believe everything that was just told. Maybe for you, prophecy is just a matter of faith or nothing more than coincidence. But if you've ever heard a strange prediction, if you've ever had a dream you couldn't explain, or experienced a moment that made you feel there's something beyond ordinary logic, then share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you'd like to keep following stories as mysterious as this one, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I'll see you in the next video.